I think the main thing that we can work on as a society to improve the United States is to learn how to communicate with each other and accept that other people have different opinions without being violent and without demeaning someone else's opinion just because it's not the same as yours. That's all.
I think the biggest issue in politics right now is the fact that there's money in politics. Politicians are now becoming corrupt because they represent their large donors rather than their constituency that put them into office in the beginning. The reason I feel that that's such a problem is because regardless of the industry, this happens. And it dilutes our purpose on this earth. For example, on issues like global warming, climate change, we know it's very real. In fact, investing in solar industry would actually bring more jobs to this country. And yet, because it goes against the vested interest of these large corporations and their donations, that is not something that this country will recognize. We are the only country after Paris and the global conference on climate change to retract on our promise. And this is the problem that faces all American people, regardless of their age, race, sex, a variety of socioeconomic statuses. And it's a problem that I fundamentally feel is the reason why progress has been so limited with regards to, opportunity for all people. As a person of color, that's the one thing I care about. It's the biggest issue for me. I care about having kids one day, and I want to be able to bring them into a world that's going to care for them and nurture them into progressive leaders. But I understand that the odds are stacked against us, and it's unfortunate.
I think that racism is a huge issue in this country, and the fact that people don't say that it is a problem, like they don't address it, they don't say that it's happening, they just act like it's not anything that's happening in the United States.
I guess based on that, I feel like this whole country was founded on the basis of racism. So even just from the beginning of America being founded, America was founded on the backs of slaves, and I feel like just because of that, and Native Americans. And so because of that, up until now, people try to forget that happened, and they try to act like that it didn't happen. Yeah, they say get over it.
It's not something you get over. It's something
and the division of power just isn't right now because of that. Like the people of power from then are still in power, and the people that have never been in power are still not. So the whole equality system in America is just totally terrible. Diversity in every field in the world is completely terrible. I think a lot of companies are trying to change that. Obama has definitely been trying to change that, but I feel like the presidency now, like the election, a lot of the candidates are not focusing on that issue, and it's been causing a lot of problems because that's been a real issue today in America. Is the division of power and the way minorities have been treated in this country lately. So I feel like that's been the major issue.
Our economy.
That's it.
I think we need to stop being so gridlocked and get things done.
Yeah, political polarization.
Any you guys been through any experience? That's what I'm trying to get, like a reiteration.
I think we were just frustrated that no one wants to work together, and people, of course, John Boehner, had to resign because of the fact that he didn't want to shut down the government for Planned Parenthood. That's not something that should happen today. We shouldn't have to.
It's like a distrust of the government process, in politics as a thing worth doing, is a really scary thing happening within American politics and the Republican Party. There's this distrust that we have to do these crazy movements. We have to change everything at once. But the American political system was created based on compromise and small changes and incremental changes over time. And I think most Americans are frustrated by that because we want to change things now and we distrust incremental change. And so it makes things like climate change, which is a collective action problem, extremely difficult to do because we're so divided and polarized.
Because it's our fault that we're causing.
Our government shutdowns do cost taxpayer dollars a lot of money for them shutting down every time. The last government shutdown was miserable. And how much taxes did come out of it?
Yes.
It's a game of childish Jerry Springer bullshit.
People like Michelle Bachmann, they literally think that getting stuff done means shutting down the government, which is not true at
Can't
all.
shut the government down.
Did Ted Cruz shut down the government?
As well as
Yeah.
Ted Cruz. Yes.
You talking about Grandpa Munster that eats his fucking boogers?
Oh my god. Oh, I saw that. Oh.
I'd start with naiveness. Maybe that isn't the best word actually. Naiveness.
Lack of lack of knowing how to live in a country where guns are allowed to automatically banish the notion of life and the value that life gives you.
Where people are taught to feel joy after purchasing
Goods
frozen
after
yogurt or something like
the
people.
fact that killing and the fact that people have the right to own an object that kills automatically puts them in a mindset that devalues life, that legitimizes death, and automatically you live in a nation that is numbed, a numbed nation. Yes, that's what I was saying.
I feel like education here, people don't really learn how to critique.
They don't learn. They learn how to learn. They don't learn how to
take a step back and to like actually
observe.
That's why when Trump comes up and Trump starts like telling things that seem really utopic for most people, they don't take a step back to be like,
they don't
speaks better than me.
They don't use their heads that you guys are saying?
They use their impulses. They don't use their heads.
React as opposed to thinking.
Yeah, because how are you supposed to, I mean, ads are everywhere. Like,
how are you supposed to think if you're constantly completely submerged and oppressed by advertisement, by pressure to buy, but what is politics in America?
Entertainment.
Anymore? It's entertainment. It's bloody entertainment. You got a guy making jokes on stage for hours and gaining voters and voters and voters. He goes, oh no, his son does a speech and he says, I'm one of the few son of a billionaire who owns a golf cart with blah blah blah. And I'm like, we care what your golf cart has. We care about our human rights. We care about our country. Or do people even care anymore? Do they even know what it is anymore? Do people even know
people
what all
know
those
why
things
they're
are?
here?
Do people know why they're in this country? Do people know why they're alive? Do people know why their life is so perverted? Why their notion?
We're both from France. I came here like a week ago. She lives here.
I've been living here for a year.
It took me a week to get used to interactions here.
Yep. Because it's fake.
I think that the corporations are totally blinding us, and I don't feel like I see anything real throughout my day, every day.
Reality is not a thing.
Yeah, every day.
It's a utopia. You live in a utopia. America is a fake utopia. It's a perverted
The streets,
utopia.
like everything's the same thing.
Everything. The
everything looks
convenience
alike.
store.
Convenient.
It is a store that is convenient.
Think of the word
so every time you go there, you're like, oh, this is convenient. I'm gonna go buy crap. Or when
That
you go to
is so
Walgreens,
convenient.
all of the cards. There's called Happy Mother-in-Law birthday card. There's the Son-in-Law sad birthday card. Death funeral card. It's like they're controlling your emotions. All your emotions are categorized. There's no more sense of humanity. Who is even human anymore? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So, I was saying is our biggest thing in our country, like what we do, is that something needs to be done to placate the smaller majority that did lose. Like, because if someone went 51% to 49%, then something has to be done to placate that 49%, because they're still a big majority, their representation of our country. Even though they did lose, they are the losers. But something has to be done to prevent turmoil in the country, to them. That being said, the things that are compromised over is to be something controversial and needs to be definitely talked out and have a bipartisan decision on that, which is something that's not very much happening. As you see what Obama was saying, that he tried to work with Republicans and got shot down. But then Republicans saying he didn't try to work with them at all because he went straight to executive orders. So something needs to be done about that. Another thing that has to be done is the media taking sides on it. Like, Donald Trump did call it the Huffington Post. Everything the Huffington Post says about it is really derogatory towards it, harmful to his campaign, and not highlighting anything that's like very good about it, highlighting all the negatives and just washing past it, which is something that the media is not there for. They're supposed to be the watchdog of the country and the nation, the government, but not really doing their jobs, just taking a biased stance on it. That's not really media, that's not really reporting. And a bigger thing that we have an issue with in a bigger scope of the country is the United Nations and the Security Council. The Security Council can't do anything if one of the 7 countries deny it. So what is the point of them having there? Because we have a 3/5 majority here, and that's why it works, because we have a majority that leads it. Well, if one of the 7 says, hey, no, we're not going to do that, it's not going to work out. So the UN is really effectively inert. There's nothing they can really do about it, because Russia is one of the... Previously the Soviet Union was on it, then they dissolved, now it's Russia, which was unethical and illegal according to UN laws to them to do that. But hey, that's what happens. They're a big major power, they deserve to be on the council, sure. But the US and Russia have opposing views, and they always will. Russia still counts us as our biggest enemy. Like, that's just what happens. And some people go there and that's what they say. And there's nothing wrong with that, it's just that with the US and Russia on the Security Council, nothing's gonna get done. Look at the Middle East, they're going back and forth on that. Nothing gets done, there's no unanimous solution on it. Something has to be done about that, that has to be changed. And as I said, when one majority wins there, something has to be done to educate the minority there so they don't dissolve, and then another world war, not a civil war, because it's not our country. That's what's going to happen, because nothing's being done to placate smaller minority. So that's like the biggest issue we face here. It's lack of communication, biased communication, violence, and just nothing being done.
I have a few points I want to touch on. Most important, not the most important, but the first one is that we need to find ways to communicate our differences in opinion without lashing out at each other physically, just to communicate our opinions, because there's always going to be a difference in opinion, and we need to find better ways to just communicate, not rip signs out of people's hands, and labeling people, because labeling somebody as a Trump supporter that goes to a Trump rally makes you look bad. It makes you look like a judgmental person, because I didn't come here for Trump. I came here as a conservative, as a Republican, and I think one good thing that came out of this is that it's bringing people together. We're talking, if you want to call it talking, we're more like arguing, but we're here, everybody's in that building, and things are being said, things are being done. I've never attended any sort of political anything before. I came to this because, I mean, it was free. I mean, it's something to just, I mean, it's something to do. It has to do with government. So I think that's a really good thing. It's getting people together, it's getting people talking. So I think that's a good thing that came out of it. Yes, that's it.